If I were to ask someone 420 years ago who the greatest writer is, most people would say William Shakespeare. If I were to ask someone today, most people will still say William Shakespeare. But what if they were wrong? What if it wasn't William, but a humble millionaire by the name of Ichiro Oda, who lives in Kumamoto, Japan? Shakespeare holds the title of the most sold fiction author with an estimate of 2 to 4 billion sales and 42 published works, including books and plays. Oda is at nearly a 400-year disadvantage in comparison to Shakespeare, but Oda is still the 10th most sold fiction author ever. With only one series and one collection of short works, he has managed to sell around 516 to 523 million copies. The fact that Oda only has one major published piece of work actually works in his favor in this discussion, because when we look at sales per work, we see that Shakespeare, he falls down to about 47 to 95 million sales per book. But Oda is actually at 258 to 261 million sales per book. One instance where Oda dominates Shakespeare is in other forms of media besides the written form. Shakespeare has had 294 movies that were fully adapted after one of his plays. Oda's resume for other pieces of media is so much larger than Shakespeare. Oda has had 2 shows that were adapted after his manga. There have been over 15 different One Piece movies made that have been consistently some of the most popular movies in Japan. One of One Piece's most impressive feats in media is that there have been over 60 One Piece games made. Some of them include major blockbusters that have been released this year, like One Piece Odyssey. There have also been countless One Piece board and card games, including One Piece Monopoly. The best case for Oda being the better author than Shakespeare is in the writing style. Shakespeare wrote his plays for the upper and middle class citizens of England, while Oda's work primarily targets the Japanese youth. But his story is still widely popular around the world with almost every age group. One of the main reasons is how Oda handles heavy and dark themes while still keeping the show light. One of Oda's best example of keeping the show light while still having dark underlying tones is in the Wano arc. Luffy and his crew meet up with a group of rebel samurai, and they discover that the land of Wano has been taken over by the tyrannical king Kaido, who has seized means of production, is forcing people to work in factories, imprisoning innocent people, and taking the food away from the population. Luffy teams up with the samurai, and he goes to the small island of Onigashima to take out Kaido. When Luffy has a face-off with Kaido, he unlocks his new form in his devil fruit called Fifth Gear. This turns him into the living embodiment of the sun god Nika, which gives him a rubber body and allows him to fly around the battlefield, laughing and bouncing around. This shows that Oda cares about keeping the tone light while still having underlying themes of darkness and cruelty, because Luffy is giving the viewers a chance to breathe when they just finished a heavy and dark session in Wano. These are just 3 of the numerous instances in which Oda dominates Shakespeare in terms of sales, writing, and other media outlets. Oda has spent the last 24 years dominating in everything that he does. He has become one of the most influential manga authors of all time.